Untamed is going to be untamed. It's going to be a little crazy. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people.
Oh, hot dog, look at you.
And nobody talked about what's really happening.
And let's have conversations about what truth is. Hey, so welcome back. Man, what a day. Whew. Okay, so let's just get right into it. I want to talk to you about a bunch of things today. We're gonna get into it. I probably went a little bit more over the edge, crazy than I ever have before. I had a conversation with somebody last night and this morning that took a turn for the worst, and I mean that in the best possible terms. We're dealing with a government shutdown, which is bringing the government to a halt. I mean, I can't be more happy about that. The Democrats want to push free healthcare and a bunch of free benefits to illegals, and I'm frankly done. 56 cents on every dollar goes to the government, and what they have done with it is made us institutional slaves. So I'm not okay with it. So we're gonna also talk about the illegal superintendent, Ian Roberts. And they had students that walked out. Students they're just not that smart. They haven't figured it out yet. But and then we're going to and the DOJ probed their race-based hiring, and then we're going to look at the updates on TPUSA and cancellations. It's TPUSA is struggling a little bit, and frankly, I think that was the whole design. I'm going to fly to Arizona and meet with the people at TPUSA. I'm going to try and put that on the calendar over the next month. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because it's easy to find opportunity and chaos to destroy an organization. There's already people like this Brylan character who's trying to take advantage of what happened with Charlie. And you can't replace Charlie. I think everyone knows that. But I want to go through a couple things that are kind of pressing to me. Corrupt judiciaries. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. You know, while we're sitting over here talking about small, what I call chaotic distractions, we have to get to what I talked about yesterday, and that is the fact that the foundation of what has happened to us is that we are become slaves. They've stolen elections, which means that they get to steal money from us, which means that they get to basically operate with impunity, and just it's a freedom frenzy on the American people. So I put up something yesterday or this morning, and I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. So this is what I put up. I woke up this morning pretty upset, and I put it on multiple platforms. But I want to remind people that we're in a state of distress right now, and no matter how much I support President Trump and I support him personally, I believe that he is surrounded by people who, frankly, what is it that Patrick said? He used a saying, and I saw it, and says throne sniffers. So Patrick Byrne calls them throne sniffers. They wait for President Trump to fart, and then they just go over there and sniff his butt. That's really what we're dealing with right now. So let me just give you some context behind this text that I put out yesterday. Mike Davis, in response to the outrage over Tina Peters still being in jail, put out a post. And his post was offensive to me, frankly. And Mike Davis, I don't actually, let me just put it this way. I don't give a shit who doesn't like me. Like, I just don't give a shit. And somebody said 2 or 3 weeks ago, like, Joe, you're somewhat, you get angry and you're like this firebrand, and sometimes you're out of control. Yeah, I'm out of control. I'm out of control when nothing is happening. That's when I'm out of control. I'm out of control when we find ourselves over and over and over again catering to the ridiculous. But Mike put up a post, and this post says, and I'm going to go out of sync here for a little bit, so just bear with me. And then I'm going to bring in our guest, by the way. And our guest is he's no stranger to the show. He's been on before. He is the original OG when it comes to whistleblowing. He's done some incredible things. in his own right, but had to pay a heavy price as a whistleblower. And I'm not sure that everyone understands the the consequences of blowing the whistle. And it's a heavy price. Now, in his case, it worked out pretty well, but I wouldn't tell you that it didn't come without its costs. So Bradley Birkenfeld is a UBS whistleblower. He's on before. He's the author of Lucifer's Banker, Uncensored. I have the book. It's literally the thing that I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to finish that book. I started on chapter 1, and I was like, listen, I need to devote a week to actually do it. So we're going to have him on, and we're going to talk about Tina Peters and everything else. But I want to talk about one tweet in specifically before I bring him on, and then I'll read off the other tweets that I put out today and the update from Tina, because I want to update you on Tina Peters from Tina Peters' own words this morning. But Mike Davis said this: President Trump can't pardon Tina Peters, and the DOJ can't wave a magic wand and free her from prison because she's a state, not federal, convicted felon. The charges against her are complete and utter bullshit, but we need to focus our efforts on the right levers of power. And I'm going, so this is what I said. Mike, that's absolutely not true. It's novel, but based on the cover-up and crimes committed, there's actually a way to wave the magic wand. No one has looked at the information related to the stolen election and the fraudulent systems. No one. The DOJ instead said they don't have data, guys. That is bullshit. Additionally, there is a QTAM case that has bona fide crimes committed involving over $15 million in bribes that implicate Governor Polis, the AG, Secretary of State, and a number of judges. The Colorado AUSA is married to one of the Colorado Supreme Court justices and the crimes committed, and so the case was passed over to the Wyoming AUSA, who is just as equally compromised. You say he can't remove her from jail, but he can. The supremacy clause is clear, and the evidence of election fraud is equally clear. How many more depositions of whistleblowers do you want? Do you want it in Morse code, or maybe we should write it out in Braille? What is sickening is that it's easy to charge Tina with bullshit, as you say, but no mechanism to get her out when elections are fraudulent and the crimes committed obvious. So with all due respect, acting like the hands are broken, absolutely shameful. So then I woke up this morning, and I'm not going to waste any more time. I want to bring Brad on because I want him to. I want to read this off, and I want to get his thoughts on it. I wasn't very popular because right after I sent out that tweet, I got somebody that sent me something saying, "Joe, you're not a lawyer, you're not an attorney." And so what I said is, "Joe, you're not an attorney. You just don't know how the system works," quote unquote. That's what I said to me. I said, "Yeah, but I do know how it doesn't work. You either do what is right or you tell us evil wins, and you don't give a shit." Tina Peters is in jail while lawyers jack off and tell us they can do anything. They can't do anything. Here's what is being done. A case in Colorado that the Polis and Weiser, dead to rights committing crimes, being hidden by the DOJ. A sitting Colorado Supreme Court justice was forced to resign after committing a crime in 2022 that would have landed any of us in jail for a decade. The rules are not the rules if there are slave codes to attack us for standing up, of which allow the elite fraternity to act with impunity. Institutional rot. Don't tell me we are winning with the lawyer frat class allowed a Gold Star mom to sit in jail because of corruption and fraud. For fuck's sake. So that's what I put up. Brad, welcome to the show.
Hey, Joe, great to be back. Look, there's a couple of things that I've made notes on from what you've said. Several things. First and foremost, when we go down sort of a bullet list of items, and certainly this Peters case is front and center, but let's go back for a moment. The reason why the government is shut down today, it's shut down because the Democrats are just playing fool negotiations. But if you go back and look, and I think I may have forwarded to you on LinkedIn, there was a great video by Kyle Rise with respect to Hillary Clinton talking about we should never have our healthcare system support illegal immigrants. Well, how funny that tune has changed. Her narrative has gone another direction when it doesn't fit her cause. So that's the first and foremost. And many of the other clowns in the Democratic Party have parroted the same thing. But now all of a sudden it's the right thing to do to close the government down so that we can give money to illegal immigrants. Someone like this gentleman in Des Moines, Iowa, which how the heck could they not find this guy who was running the superintendent of schools in our country in the state of Iowa?
How about that, huh?
I mean,
how about that? How about the straight absurdity of it? And we're having kids walk out of school to support a guy that they've never talked to. He's a superintendent. No, he's not connected to the kids. There's no connection at all.
Illegal. Right. And the fact is he's running away with $3,000 in cash, a knife, and a loaded gun. Really? And the Democrats don't have anything to say about that, huh? Really? Well, that's sort of par for the course. So
look, it's getting to the point where we're going to have to make decisions ourselves and kind of walk past what the apparatuses inside of our government are doing right now, because it's getting progressively worse as time progresses.
Well, here's the other thing. So not only was he an illegal immigrant, he's here in charge of the superintendent of schools in the state of Iowa. I think someone should call up Senator Grass and find out what's going on. His office should be investigating this himself and saying this is outrageous. Not only did ICE catch him, thank goodness, but prosecute him to the full length of the law. Then we jump over to the that wonderful Christopher Wray of the FBI. How is it that 275 undercover FBI agents were there on January 6th, and now we find about it, and nobody makes a big deal about it? It's no news. Of course it's news, and of course it's illegal, and of course he should be held accountable. You didn't tell us that you had 275 undercover FBI agents at January 6th. Why? Did this slip your mind?
It did.
Bring him in and Garland. Bring them both in and put them under oath. And I'll tell you, stop the crap. Enough's enough. America's tired of this shit. Whether it's this idiot in Des Moines, Iowa, who's an illegal immigrant, whether it's the idiots out in Portland trying to fight ICE, whether it's 275 undercover FBI agents at January 6th trying to undermine this whole Trump administration, and the list goes on and on and on. People are getting tired of this, honestly.
Well, I put something up, and I think you're hitting it a nail right on the head. And Brad, I want to read this to you because I woke up this morning, and it's one of the reasons why they do everything they can to silence me, is that there's a certain amount of logic that people have or don't have, right? There's people that are on what I call the controlled, isolated Con Inc. side that are closely related to and will fist bump each other on the right and the left. It's all kabuki theater, right? They're all in the same little group. And Patrick Byrne calls them throne sniffers. I personally have learned quite a bit about this influencer world that's out there right now and how they operate. And anyway, I wrote this, and I kind of want to read it to you, and you tell me if what I'm saying hits a chord. By the way, ever hit the share button, give me a thumbs up, and be the ambassadors of truth, because this directly applies to Tina Peters. I said, we're at the stage where we figure out that those that say they're for us are conveniently stepping over the bodies of those who fought for President Trump and winning back our country. We're at the stage where a 70-year-old Gold Star mom who rots in jail because she is an acceptable casualty to the elite who are never held accountable for their behavior. We're at the stage where the obvious of stealing elections go unpublished and treasonous traitors are rewarded with settlements while they rot in the judiciary becomes more extreme. We're at the stage where we figure out that Republicans are really just controlled opposition and can't realize we're in a knife fight for our very existence because they're too busy stuffing their faces with money, power, and influence. We're at the stage where a one-page indictment of a man who is complete trash is a priority over evil we talk about but say we can't do anything about it because our hands are tied. Save us the bullshit, Mike Davis. We are over the betrayal, and it's complicated. It's not complicated, and you don't have the balls to do the right thing. You're too busy lecturing the public bullshit to do the right thing. Bunch of feckless cowards who would leave your fellow brothers and sisters on the battlefield to rot and die so long as you get your seat at the table and a medal. You watch as 1,600 men and women, Americans, were thrown in the gulag and tortured and abused in subhuman conditions. You watched as women and children were abused and the border remained open. You watched as Americans did the hard work while facing massive lawsuits, lawfare, subjected to defamation, and a planned confidence and slowly show us the reality that people are really nothing. Confidence and slowly show us the reality that people are really nothing but slaves and inconveniences to the chessboard. This is not about Tina only. It's about the many people who fought while the Brutuses and Judases thrive in the slaughter of the Americans who stood when it was neither convenient or likely to end well. We held our faith in God and trusted you. End. Stop. We have no interest in how will it look, or our hands are broken and we can't figure out how to do the right thing. Then just admit we are slaves. Liars won, the elections are stolen, and you don't have the stomach to free the American people from the bondage of slavery. Or go to war against those that betrayed the people and captured our states. Your choice. And who am I to advocate for tuna or our nation? As it turns out, they kill truth tellers and those who stand up. Look what they did to Charlie. And yet again, nothing is done as they continue to build an army of evil demons while snubbing their nose at you and us from within. But at least we can support Israel. Yay. At least we can arrest Comey. Yay. I get it. It's complicated, disgraceful. Do, period, the, period, right, period, thing, period, or don't, I suppose.